I'm reverberating. Welcome to the Sound Off Show. My name is Linda Kirker. I host the program, as I have for 14 years now. And I love doing it, and I love sharing with you an opportunity to hear about different types of topics and meet different people from all different walks of life. And before I introduce you to my guest, or my guest to you, I just want to say a couple of things. One, I have these little flags on the tables here, and my little buddy, my little patriotic buddy, because I am, as you likely know if you watch the show often, that I'm a patriot, and we have the 4th of July coming up on Wednesday, and so I couldn't help myself. And fortunately, my guests tonight all have red shirts on, so that makes it even better. But we're faced today with a lot of disruptions in our society with the coronavirus, and then the rioting on other issues, and voting by mail, and wearing of masks, and so many things, job losses, and schools closed, and we have a lot of adjusting to do, and hopefully this country, being the wise and strong nation that we are, we will be able to work our way through all of this with the great leadership that we have, and turn things around for the better. Hopefully, we're all going to learn something from this negative in our lives and make things even better. So with that, I would like to introduce my guest. This is a different show tonight from many others that I've done, because the topic is a whole lot different, and it's a topic really important to me, because not only do I care about these ladies at the table, that two of them I've known for a long, long time, but I share something in common with them, and so I wanted to bring all that to you tonight. So I would like to introduce this Barbershop quartet of super ladies, and their quartet name is called Rearranged. And they're going to explain in a few minutes why they have that name. Kind of a unique name for a quartet, or really for anything. But I would like to introduce each one of them. To my far left, on the screen it would be the left as well, I guess. Robyn Moore, who sings lead in the quartet.
Correct.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Linda.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Oh, thanks. And to my immediate left is Nancy Lequier. Nancy is the baritone.
I am.
Yeah, I think that's a tough part. I'm glad I
That's the one that they say used to make the dogs howl.
Well, welcome. It's great to have
Thank
you
you.
here. And to see you again after all these years.
It's always fun to see.
Yes, thank you. And to my immediate right is Irene Knight. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Linda? Good.
And you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And you're welcome. And Irene sings bass in the quartet. Now, you will notice, if you know anything about four-part harmony, I am not the fourth singer in this quartet. One of their members, Deborah Drury, the tenor, was not able to be here tonight. So you won't hear any singing, but you will see some photos, and you will hear about what barbershop singing is all about, and how these ladies got involved in it, and what it means to them. And I think it's going to be interesting. I have a lot of questions. I hope you have a lot of answers.
I'm sure we do.
So with that, I've introduced you. Why don't you, one at a time, we'll start over here with Robyn. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, what you do with your life other than singing,
Okay.
and what are your other interests?
Oh, my goodness. Well, that would take a whole show, so we'll try to keep it shorter. But So my name is Robyn Moore, and I live in Essex, Vermont. I have lived there, except for college, since 1978.
Wow.
So, and when I came home from college, a friend of mine who actually was singing with these two ladies around that time suggested I come and check out a barbershop chorus rehearsal. And I had always loved tight harmony music. And I went, and it was magical. It was amazing. And I was really fortunate because I joined the chorus in August. And in November of that year, our chorus won an international championship. So there's nothing like hopping right in at the top.
Absolutely.
Spoils you a little bit. But then I've been singing Barbershop on and off since then. That was 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a long time.
Well, and I'm the newbie in the room.
Yes, we're going to get to that. And I might mention that I know your mom, she and I served together in the legislature.
Yes, both my mom and my dad served.
Yes.
Well, my mom is just finishing up her last term in the legislature. My father served for a year, sadly, before he passed away.
Yes.
And then I work, during the daytime, I work at Global Foundries.
Oh, you
in
do?
Essex, yes.
Okay, so that's close to home.
Very.
Good for you. Well, thank you for that. It's
you.
kind of nice to get to know who a person is before we get into other things. So Nancy, I would ask you the same questions.
Well, I'm from Essex also, and I became interested in barbershop when I was school nursing at Lawton, and a wife of one of the teachers came to me. She sang at the time, Shirley Kent, and she said, I'll just like you to come to chorus and see if you like it, right? And I said, oh, well, okay. And I was hooked the first night.
Oh.
But she put me in the bass section, and I decided that I was not a bass. So I went off to the side and sang all by myself, reading the baritone that night, and realized that that's what I needed to be, was baritone.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So, yeah.
Now, did you, well, I'll ask you all this, that next question next, but, so Irene Knight, I've known you for many a year as well.
Many years, yes.
And from our Champlain Echoes Ladies Barbershop Chorus in Burlington, unfortunately, the chorus doesn't exist anymore, but I would like to talk about that later. In case I forget, why don't you bring it up?
We'll remind you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I have too many things going through my head these days. So why don't you tell us about you?
Well, I am retired, but I still work part-time for the University of Vermont, the psychology department. I work strictly for one professor who is wonderful. And now, of course, I work from home because UVM is closed. I've been working for him for 17 years.
Wow.
I always sang. My mother taught me songs when I was a little girl, and I'd go sing to the neighbors. But I got into barbershop because one of the gals I worked with at GE was a barbershopper, and they put me in the lead section. And I thought, oh my God, I can't do this. I moved to bass. I was born a bass.
Isn't that funny how we sense where we belong, even in a quartet, you know?
Well, you can tell by the timbre of my voice that I'm a bass. And I hadn't been there very long when I started quartetting, with members of the chorus, and ended up with these ladies, and we have a marvelous time.
We do.
We do.
Well, it's the camaraderie, it's the friendship that you develop, it's the dependency on one another to live up to doing your part, to make the quartet even better. And there's a lot of experience in this room. I would like to share, if you don't mind, that my introduction, I sang in the chorus in junior high school, and then in high school, and then in college, and my dad played wonderful piano, and we all, at holidays, all the family would come and we would sing the Irish songs from my little Irish grandmother, and then he would play so I could tap dance. So music is just kind of ingrained in us somehow.
part of your life.
It is,
Yeah.
it is. You have an affinity. So I'll make this quick because it's more about you. I met a man who I didn't know was a barbershopper, and our first date was a barbershop show. And of course, afterwards they have a party called
Afterglow.
an afterglow. Was at someone's home. I didn't know a soul except him. So I'm standing over to the side, and he's talking with people, and I'm just sort of, I don't even really know him very well, let alone all the other people. And all of a sudden, he's over talking in a corner with a couple of guys. And people are singing, in different quartets around the building or the home. And all of a sudden he comes walking across the room and he says, "Linda will do it." And I said, "Oops, Linda will do what?" So come on. So he brings me over to the corner where the guys are. He says, "Now you sing these chords and then we're going to harmonize with you." That was my introduction.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
singing tags.
Well, it wasn't, I was just,
Or woodshedding, really.
it was just
Building chords.
a chord,
Yeah.
And chords. And that's how I got introduced to barbershop. And so, anyway, so where do we start now? Let's see. How many years, do you know how many years of experience that you have, if you added them up, your
Well, I joined in '73, and I
joined in '77.
I just 3 years ago, the year that the chorus broke up, I had 45.
Wow, 45 years.
Yep, so 73 now would be a little bit longer than that, but
Wow,
so still singing.
that is super. And how about you?
For barbershopping, I guess that would make it 30 years.
Really?
Yeah, from 1990 till now.
And from 1977 till now, I can't add that much.
07, 17,
Let me grab my
43 years.
Yep.
Well, so you have a lot of experience that goes into this quartet. And tell me, what are some of the experiences that you've had as a quartet? Who would like to start? I know that you have specific things, because Irene has shared with me a couple of things that you've done.
We've done naturalization services for what, 4 years now?
5 years.
5 years. And they're very meaningful. We enjoy doing them. We did one at the Ethan Allen Homestead, and we got to talk to some of the inductees, and this woman said, "It's taken me 7 years, and now I'm free."
Oh, wow.
Things like that make it worthwhile. And doing the naturalization services at the State House
Oh, gosh.
is on 9/11 is impressive.
Maybe we could have, if we could get Alan, our technician, to put up a picture of the four of you at the State House or one of the naturalization. Oh,
Yeah, that's on the Ticonderoga. That's for
the
citizenship.
Judge Sessions.
That's Citizenship Day
Yep.
with Judge Sessions.
oh wow.
That's a Christmas show that we did with the Green
chorus.
Mountain Chorus and the Champlain Echoes.
Okay. And
Look for the ones with the pink tops. That's how I can tell where we were.
oh,
There you go.
There you go. That's
That's
the
us in the
house.
well of the house.
that looks familiar to me.
I bet it does.
Yeah, that must be such fun to bring
Oh.
music.
Oh, God, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and the naturalization services, when people want to become citizens of this country, and you kind of help to usher them in. You sing patriotic music at
Yes,
those
we do.
events?
Yes.
So what do you sing?
Star Spangled Banner.
Let the new peace.
This is my country. Let the good peace on earth.
Oh, the,
Lee Greenwood's
Lee Greenwood's
song,
Greenwood.
God Bless the USA.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I have a little stuffed soldier He sits in my little rocking chair with a little girl doll, and he sings that. You just press his
How
hands,
sweet.
and he sings that song. So anybody who comes into my house gets serenaded by the little teddy bear.
Is it an action activated?
No.
Or you have to push a button?
Yeah, you just push the button on his hand. And yeah, I've had workmen come in to do something. Wait a minute before you go. Yeah, so what that must mean to these new citizens of our country to hear some of our patriotic music. It would give me chills if I were doing that.
Yes. Of course, we do the national anthem also.
Oh my, that's amazing. How did you get started doing that?
I think it was Robyn's mom. Was it your mom that got us into that?
You know, I'm just not. Oh, I know. So, a lot of barbershop choruses do singing Valentine's on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And one year, Judge Conroy's wife arranged for us to come and sing for Judge Conroy. The hysterical part was that unbeknownst to her, at the same time, one of the men's barbershop quartets was singing to his wife because he had arranged for a barbershop quartet to sing to her.
We sang in the chambers too.
Right, and we sang in his chambers, and at that point he and his executive assistant suggested that we might want to be involved with singing at the naturalizations, and
So that's when I contacted the girl at the time
yeah.
at the federal court.
At the
And
federal
we've been doing it ever since.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That must be so heartwarming, warming, and inspirational to see
It
that.
is very
That
inspirational.
would be something I would have loved.
As an aside, this year I started working at the Halls in Essex. And lo and behold, one of the people that we had sung for,
Yes.
one of those
Service.
dressed in their native garb and stuff, came in to sign up to vote. And it was like, oh my gosh, now I've been all both ends now. It's
Did
wonderful.
she recognize you or
No.
No. But you got the drift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is a country that a lot of people want to come to. And why would that be?
Yeah.
Freedom,
Freedom.
Yes.
opportunity, personal responsibility. You know, the door is wide open
Yes.
to opportunity if you know, my mom taught me, I don't know how old I was. She was tough, but she was loving. And she said to me at some point, I don't know if I was 12 or what, she said, Linda, if you want something in this life, don't expect anybody to give you anything. You expect to work for it and earn it.
Right.
And that's how I've lived my life. It was a strong lesson.
She was a smart lady.
She was tough and she was loving and she was smart. And she died in her 40s, but I never ever forgot the gift that she gave to me by teaching me that. And when I've spoken twice to the 7th and 8th graders at the city school, I told them that story. And I said, you know, that's a gift that I just am so grateful for my whole life. Okay.
We should tell her the story afterwards because it's too long, Judge Sessions' story.
Yes,
What?
if anyone ever has an opportunity to go to one of the naturalizations where Judge Sessions is going to be speaking and performing the naturalization, they really should. He has quite the amazing story to tell about his recent health conditions and how a bunch of different people involved in his care came from other countries and became citizens. So it's a very moving story that he tells at the naturalizations.
Well, let me ask this. If I wanted to go to a naturalization service, is that open?
Yes.
So you'll have to let me know.
Sure.
We certainly
We were
will.
supposed to do 4 of them this year, but of course they haven't.
Well, they're postponed indefinitely because of,
Of course.
She's getting her fingers crossed, she said, for 9/11, but,
I hope.
because that's what we
can,
always do, 9/11.
yeah.
I see.
And then we go to, what's that restaurant in Montpelier?
Oh,
We always go
sorry,
there for lunch.
Maybe we shouldn't say, it's too much of an ad, right?
Oh, that's all right. Well, Yeah, I would love to go sometime. I could not only enjoy this ceremony, but enjoy watching you sing at the same time.
My boss's wife came to the one on the Ticonderoga,
Ah,
and she was so impressed.
oh,
And that time, was there just 3 of us, or were all 4
Yeah,
of
Deb
us?
couldn't make it then.
Deb couldn't make it, so 3 of us did the
Well,
ceremony.
the nice thing, at least with the Barbershop Quartet, if somebody can't make it at the last minute, and it's the tenor, then the 3 of you can still do a pretty good performance.
okay, that's interesting.
Only on certain songs.
Yeah, of course. I would agree. So, I guess, did I cover how you got your interest in music in the first place?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah,
anything to add to that?
I just come from a musical family way back. I mean, music's just been a part of my life forever.
As a bass, you might enjoy this, Linda.
What?
I didn't sing in a church choir, ever, because back then, I would have had to sing tenor with the men. And that was not going well. That wouldn't have. So I really didn't take up singing again until I joined the Champlain Echoes.
Okay.
I had done quartetting in high school, and I sang in the Glee Club, and we sang with a special group. What were they called?
Choraliers.
The Choraliers.
And
Okay.
we didn't know each other at the time.
Really?
She was in my older sister's class.
Okay.
She came up to me the first night she went to Barbershop rehearsal. She came up to me and she said,
Always
"You don't know
tells
who I
this.
am. I'm not going to tell you when you have to go home and figure it out." And I did.
I
Oh.
wish I had a nickel for every time she told that story.
You'd be wealthy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm glad I joined the chorus after I had that initial date and got introduced to it. A lot of fun times and just sharing music with people.
Yes.
You know, it's uplifting, it's energizing.
It's camaraderie.
Yes,
It really is.
it is. You're a team.
Definitely.
And the quartetting experience was just a gift too.
Did you ever compete with the quartet?
No.
That's
Well,
an experience in itself.
oh, sure it is. You mean the women's? I sang a few times with 3 other women, just kind of a pickup quartet,
Right.
but never seriously. No, in our mixed quartet, there was nothing for us to compete with.
There is now.
Is there really?
Yes.
There is nothing like getting up on a stage and going through your songs. You have to do 2 songs and having 8 judges sitting in front of you.
Oops.
You know, it's enough to,
And writing.
and writing, or just staring.
Oh dear. Do any of them go like this?
No.
They can, they would be disqualified.
Yeah, they can't indicate any, yeah.
But if you, I figured if you can do that, this is a piece of cake.
Like doing this?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Well, you know, you have to be a certain kind of person to be willing to come here and speak and, you know, but.
And get out of yourself.
Yes, yeah. But the barbershop, I don't know if any of you were there, but one year when my husband and I and John and Bev Austin were singing in our mixed quartet, A Great Idea was our name. And the men's chorus asked us to sing at their annual show. And it was at the Flint Theater. And so we came out, and the place was packed. We came out on stage, and John, we got settled, and John, of course, blew his pitch pipe. And we started to sing the song, and John says, "Stop!"
And they're done that.
And I looked at him and I said, "Did I do that?" So anyway, you know, the show has to go on. So I'm assuming I got off on the wrong note or something. I don't know what
Might
happened.
not have been you.
Might not have been, but anyway, I don't mind assuming responsibility. What the heck? So we started to sing again, and at the end, I could have cried. It was a standing ovation, and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because we got off to a rough start and they felt badly for us. I don't know.
No, I think you sounded pretty good in that quartet.
Oh, thank you. It's part, it's all part of the deal.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Nothing's perfect. You have to accept that and move on and do the best you can. But there are so many opportunities. You know, if you ever are out together, have you ever been out at a restaurant and somebody blows the pitch pipe and says, okay, we're gonna sing?
Yes.
We did that.
Sure.
Yes.
One of the last times we were out to lunch in Montpelier after naturalization, the table next to us was celebrating a birthday. And so they did a little singing amongst themselves,
Sure.
but we were literally the next table. So we simply blew the pitch pipe and sang
Sang it.
to them also.
Oh,
So
that's so nice.
Yeah.
They'll never forget that.
Yeah.
it's
You
fun.
know, it's just, we were in the middle of a big department store in Montreal. And of course, I was the new one to barbershopping, even though I'd done a lot of chorus singing. Barbershop is its own animal. You know, there's a lot to learn.
Yes.
And analyzing the song and how you're going to present it and all of that. So anyway, we're in the middle of this big department store, and of course, John, being John, out comes the pitch pipe. I said, John, not here. So we sang, but people loved it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you can bring joy anywhere.
Trains, airplanes, you name it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that one.
Oh, we did a contest in Chicago one year, the chorus, and we flew, and on flying home, the whole chorus sang.
Oh, in the
way
plane?
home, in the plane.
Oh,
I got to work the next day, and I'm going up to engineering for whatever, and one of the engineers stopped me in the hall and said, you know, I heard you singing on the plane. And I thought, oh my God. But he said it was great, he enjoyed it.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Had a
really
good
nice.
time.
Now, don't wait for me to ask questions. If you think of something that you want to bring up, just feel free to do it. I'm going to say.
Robyn brought up a couple of performances that we had done that I didn't even remember.
Okay, let's share.
So we were really honored last year for Relay for Life in Chittenden County. The theme was a Disney-esque theme, and kind of the core idea was a cure is a wish your heart makes.
Oh.
And so for the opening ceremonies, we had the pleasure of adapting the Disney song A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes to sing for Relay for Life for all the survivors and the caregivers, and that was also a pretty amazing and moving experience.
So you reworded it.
Yeah, just
Yes.
a little bit,
Yeah.
just a little bit,
Oh,
yeah,
listen,
to make
You know
it fit.
what? I have an idea for you.
Okay.
And if you do this, I might be able to intercede and fix this. I have to check. But what if would you be willing to sing at the Shriners Hospital for the kids?
Oh, of course,
God,
of course.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I know somebody who's on the board.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Absolutely. We do quite a bit of our performing is what I would call kind of community service
Yes,
work.
yes,
That's what we enjoy. This last holiday season, we were at quite a few different senior centers in order to do different holiday music for them.
Perfect.
It's really, for us,
As a matter of fact, I moved into the condo where I'm living now a little over a year ago, and at Christmas time we were rehearsing for whatever, and my neighbors could hear us, through when they were in the hall.
Sure.
And so I arranged to have a few of them come to one of our rehearsals. And we did our Christmas performance for them.
Oh.
And they loved it. They thought it was
Absolutely.
great, and I thought, phew.
The opportunities are endless.
Yes,
Yes.
If your
They are.
mind and your heart are open to it,
right?
there's some, but I just thought of Shriners with all of those children
Sure.
who are, you know,
We have quite a few Disney songs too, so.
oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Oh, we gotta make this happen. And I'm coming along.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I'll be your manager.
Fantastic.
Or
You're very good at that.
Well, we have to socially distance.
We'll see.
We'll see when. They may not allow it to happen for a while.
Right.
No.
So take good care of yourselves.
Okay.
And,
Would you believe I already had the virus?
no.
I did in March.
No, she's fully recovered already. It's a long time ago.
Long time ago.
I'm just kidding.
I had, luckily, a very light case.
Do you know where you got it?
Haven't a clue. My girlfriend who lives 2 doors down the hall, she and I both got it at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, we had no clue when we got it, where we got it.
Wow.
And this was before they had all this tracking, you know. So,
They did call you though afterwards.
yes, the health
They
department
followed up.
called.
Right.
They followed up to see how we were doing.
And
Yeah.
then you get tested afterwards to make
No.
sure you're done with it?
No?
Really?
Well, when you no longer have symptoms, you're done with it.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. It lasts about 2 weeks.
Well, I was a nurse, but I don't know about the virus.
You're not missing a thing.
No, and I don't want to know about the
Right,
virus.
exactly.
Not firsthand, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, for a minute, I would like to ask Alan, our wonderful tech, to put up a couple of pictures of my quartet
Oh, sure.
So-
Lovely.
so that I've never shared that with the viewers before.
Awesome.
Oh, this is a walk down memory lane.
Oh my God.
Now, on the left is John,
John, yeah.
and then myself,
Yep.
and then my
Ray.
husband Ray, and then John's wife Beth. And of
Look at
course,
Bev's hair.
yeah, and Bev has sticking her tongue out. And the reason is that we incorporated humor into our songs. Some of the songs we sang had humor in them, and so we kind of acted them out. And it was a lot of fun to do that. So that would be one of the ones. Bev and I made our outfits, and we made matching ties for the guys. Oh, there's another one. Look at Bev with her hand on her
Yeah.
hip. And I don't know what I'm doing, but but anyway, we had a lot of fun.
Those are cool.
A lot of fun. In fact, I'm still in touch with Raymond. I talked to him the other day. He's 96 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Look
And-
at the 4 of you.
Yeah. You can't enlarge that at all, can you? Whoops. It's gone. Voila. Oh, maybe we're done with that. But anyway, oh, there it is. Whoops. Wow, we're having magic.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that for folks that probably don't know that I was involved in a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
But what a lot of fun. John had a small Cessna plane, so he flew us up to Nova Scotia. We sang up there.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We had a good old.
That was the first year that we took a bourbon in the cars, didn't we?
That was New Brunswick.
Nova Scotia, yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
It was St. John, New Brunswick.
Well, you guys were definitely ahead of your time because the men's organization now is really no longer a men's organization. The men's organization's motto is now everyone in harmony, and they have expanded to have choruses that are made up of everyone who wants to sing.
Oh really?
And yeah, so contests for co-ed quartets is now becoming much more popular. So you guys were just way ahead of the times.
Leaders.
Who knew?
Who knew? We sure did. We just had a good time.
Yep.
But boy, I'm telling you, it was a lot of work. we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, just like I'm sure you've had
Yes.
to.
If you're going to sing barbershop music well, you have to rehearse a lot. Because people think, oh, well, you know, nothing to it. Singing in a quartet, if every single voice isn't right on the correct note, it doesn't sound good.
Absolutely.
Doesn't sound good.
Everybody has to be
Yes.
right on. And of course, I was the new one in the quartet with no experience at that. And what do I get to be the lead? But fortunately, I had good pitch. And Raymond always used to say, you know, thank God, because we have that to tune to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our lead is very easy to follow.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference.
Yes, it does.
You know, it's like the foundation.
But it's a lot of pressure to be the lead, because if your job is to really focus on the performance aspects, the musicality, and hold the pitch while everyone is matching to you, you know, it took me a long time. I didn't start quartetting until working with these ladies around 2011. So I'd already been in Barbershop for a lot of years before I ever tried to be in, you know, just one of four voices.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
I remember we would stand in the living room and we would have, you know, the words of the song, and we would talk about how we were going to present the song, where we were going to back off, where we were going to push harder, you know, and just to sell the message of the song.
And what those words meant to you.
Yes,
Because if you don't get that feeling, you can't sell it.
that's true. Good point. That's really a good point.
That's 43 years of experience. We've had some really good coaching though. Nancy and I sang with expressions, and we were coached by everybody under the
Oh my
sun.
God, I just.
And that kind of thing stays with you. They teach you how to breathe, how to form vowel sounds, and so on and so forth. And it's so ingrained after a while that you carry it, you know,
It
to
becomes natural.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that brings us to another point, which is the name, right?
Yes.
Rearranged.
Yes.
So the reason we decided to call ourselves Rearranged is because between the four of us, we'd all sung a bit with each other, but never together as a foursome before. So Nancy and Irene were in a quartet together for a long time. Irene and Deb were in a quartet for a while. The three of us were in a quartet with a different tenor. Nancy and I sang in a show quartet without the other two ladies, and when we got together, we decided that we'd been rearranged so many times that when we finally landed together, that seemed like
That's
the right
cute.
name for us.
Yeah,
so
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So
And
that
do you ever get questions about it?
always.
All the time.
Always.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for that experience that I had. We used to sing at anniversary parties and birthday parties and wherever we were, actually. But when you're
Yeah.
when you're
Singing
asked,
Valentine's.
Singing
we
Valentine's.
didn't
Oh my
do that. We
goodness.
didn't do that.
We did those in 2 feet of snow. And our tenor, I was singing with her in a different quartet. She had a truck. And we had to stop at a grocery store for whatever reason, and there was a blizzard going on.
Oh gosh.
And somebody went into the store, and she's doing donuts in the parking lot. You know, you talk about memories.
Yeah, and friendships.
And friendships.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There are some quartets that get together purely for sound, right? They pick the people that is gonna have the perfect sound. And that's important for some spaces. If your
Yes.
goal is competition, that's important. But I think for us, the friendship and the camaraderie is just as important.
And the fun.
And the
And the
fun,
fun.
as the sound is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure, the sense of giving,
Absolutely.
you know,
That's what I like, yeah.
you know, maybe brightening somebody's birthday or a bad day or whatever it might be, it's a musical gift.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
Yes.
Unless you're way off key and
Right. Yes.
Well, it's probably been known to happen.
well, you were talking about, how you're putting a song together in a quartet and what you have to do to sell it and make it real. And I remember one time so distinctly, we were in our living room and we were practicing. Of course, John was the ultimate, everything had to be by the book, right? So we're working away and trying to work on the song, and John looks at my husband Ray and he says, "Ray, can't you make Linda do this?" and Raymond says, "John, Linda thinks for herself." I'll never forget it. Oh boy. But anyway, eventually I think I learned.
You did.
We had a good time.
That's great.
What opportunities are there today for people? You were mentioning the mixed quartet, and mixed chorus that's going on. Is there anything happening in Vermont? And if not, maybe this show will help to what about young people? What a great
We're
opportunity.
still trying,
What a great opportunity for young people to not only feel like they're learning something and giving something and having fun through this. It's not easy, it's work. We all know that.
It is.
But anything worthwhile is work.
Yeah.
Right?
I think right now there's a little bit of a hole in the northern part of the state. The men's chorus is still singing and doing an amazing thing, but since the Champlain Echoes decided to disband a few years ago, there are two fabulous women's barbershop choruses in other parts of the state, but there's really nothing in the Chittenden. There's one that rehearses just south of Middlebury. And then there's the Baritones in Barrie.
Oh, they're still?
They're still singing. So there's opportunities, but it really does require some driving. And no one's really jumped on the new Everyone in Harmony concept here in Chittenden County or Franklin County to create a co-ed opportunity. But that could be out there. I know that they're working with schools quite a bit. The Barbershop Harmony Society is working a lot with music educators to try to bring barbershop into the schools.
I wonder if they have a choral event at a school where they could, have a quartet.
Well, sometimes their shows, sometimes they do have a quartet that will, on their shows for their...
No, I'm talking about the students in a quartet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you could be an inspiration. No, really. If you could get into the schools to perform.
I think that's been done a few times, not necessarily by us, but by different quartets. I'm not sure what kind of an impact it had.
Well, it would have to be more than performing. It would have to be an opportunity.
An education opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
And it would have to go through the music department,
Yeah.
really, in order to be firm.
You know what?
And they are singing right now.
You're a thinker, aren't you? Huh?
And she knows people.
Yes. But I was just thinking about the band director at the high school. I'll see what I can find out. Let's see.
Even the woodwinds and stuff aren't rehearsing right now because
What is?
even the band, any of the woodwinds.
Oh, the woodwinds, yeah.
Yeah, certainly this is not an immediate thing with the world we're living in, but a someday thing. Yeah. Barbershop's an amazing art form because unlike other types of a cappella, we already mentioned how important it is for the notes to match. But in barbershop, the vowel sounds have to match, right? And the bulk of the song needs all four parts singing the same vowels. And that's just different, right? A lot of modern a cappella music has a lot of percussion, vocal percussion, and people singing different sound effects and not necessarily all singing the same words.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a place that Barbershop is differentiated, but it also makes a place for another way Barbershop is very, very difficult to do well. And so I think understanding that challenge could be a great way to encourage young people to participate, but it is also a lot of work. So.
And the
Work is a good four-letter word.
Absolutely.
That's what I told the kids. They laugh. But
The other thing about, to your point, a barbershop chord is built, and the baritone is the one that takes all the notes nobody else wants. But the baritone is difficult. It's the most difficult part in a barbershop chord. And there is no way I could ever.
to fit it in
We have
here.
to
Yes.
fill.
Yes, yes.
It's-
I wish, like anything, that we had the opportunity for you to sing. But maybe this TV station has people who go out and videotape and at various events, and at some point when you're ready to, or you're going to be singing somewhere, maybe with the permission from the naturalization people or wherever, okay, I'm creating work for the station.
Well, you know, Channel 5 is usually at the naturalization services.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't be unusual to have a TV camera there.
Well, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, that just jogged my mind a little bit, that, you know, a lot of times we have done, broken the parts down and introduced ourselves
Yes.
as each part, and then have Robyn start, and then add each part. as
Oh,
we go
that's
along,
great.
So that
Barbershop
people
demo.
understand how barbershop chords are built.
Yes, yeah, that's a great idea. And I think even if you could make a video and then bring it into a school, a music class with the cooperation of the teacher, and help the students to understand. I would love to see barbershopping, quartetting at least, come alive again here. It's such a gift to be able to do it. It's a gift to be able to share it. And, it's uplifting, and I would love, it's a lot of fun. And I would love to see that happen. Well, I'll start asking some questions.
Well, you've got some time to figure things out because
Yeah, well, I'm
great.
working on a bunch of stuff right now.
I can see it.
I mean other things. There is another part to life, but this is basic. So what are your thoughts about the future of barbershop singing?
I think it's here to stay.
I hope so.
And I think that, especially with the men's organization going co-ed, I think that's a big leap, and I think that will bring barbershop to the forefront. And if we can keep, I know that the men's chorus have got younger people. If we can keep bringing younger people in, then we're good to go.
I have not been to a men's annual show for a while. I used to go regularly, I just haven't. But my observation through the years has been that they haven't had many young people. So if they're getting more young people, that's a really good thing.
It is. It really is. And, you know, you talk about women's barbershop quartets. They're fun. Some of them are very good.
Mm-hmm.
A men's barbershop quartet has the deep bass that just rings those chords. You can't beat that. They're fun to watch and they're fun to listen to.
Well, do you see young people when you're out singing? are there ever young people in attendance? Or is it mostly older folks?
I think we had a good opportunity at Relay last year to reach a broad spectrum of people. And certainly at the nationalizations, we're reaching, a very wide group. But I would say if you go to a barbershop show, it's still not quite as young as you might want it to be, right, to move an art form forward. The catch is that barbershop is one of a very limited number of truly American developed art forms. And so certainly, this is an art form that we want to see thrive.
Absolutely.
And now it has gone global, don't get me wrong, and there are amazing choruses and quartets all over the globe, but it's an art form that started in this country. And there's only a very few number of those. So I think it's important for the work that's being done to bring everyone into harmony is very important.
I wonder if there could be, here I am again, a group of fired up people, a little committee, to come up with some ideas about how to further introduce barbershop singing, maybe through quartets, to liven it up and get it to expand again like it used to be, so alive and
Well, both organizations actually do have
Outreach.
programs. I wrote outreach is what I was looking for young people.
the national
programs
organizations, you mean?
The three national organizations, the Barbershop Harmony Society, the Sweet Adelines International, and Harmony Incorporated, are all fabulous organizations who are trying to bring the art form to more people. But in our immediate vicinity, it's just not as popular as it used to be.
There is a lot of competition. There is, in Chittenden County in particular, there are all kinds of
Musical groups,
choral groups, UVM, the Top Cats. Have you ever heard the Top Cats? They are fabulous. They're not barbershop, but they're a cappella, and they're all music majors. They're excellent. And there's a female group, and
The Cats Meow.
Cats Meow. They're good, and these are all young people.
Where do we get to hear them?
They do
They do shows.
Well, I don't know
for a
how
while,
soon
right.
they will be doing shows again, but typically both organizations do shows throughout the school year.
And you can Google them
At UVM?
at
is it?
UVM.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're well worth seeing.
You know what? Oops. Maybe we need to start with the little children, introducing them to music a bit.
Well, my mother started teaching me songs when I was 3. And
A-B-C-D.
No, songs.
Oh,
Love
okay.
that. And I'd go and sing to the neighbors.
Okay.
So, singing is a passion.
True.
If you haven't got it, it's not going to mean as much.
But you have to be introduced to it first, so that
Yes.
you can test yourself to see how much of a drive you have toward it, and whether you want to commit yourself to it, like anything else in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But if you're not exposed to it, if some little, maybe not little, maybe 5th, 6th, 7th grader happened to hear your quartet and said, "Oh wow."
Kind of what you have to do is each one of us takes somebody, teaches them a line or two, and then puts them all together and says,
Yes.
"Now sing, we'll help you."
Yes.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yes. It's step by step. Even if you sing along with them, like you teach somebody the bass part, and or you do.
Not me.
Not me.
Isn't it funny how we fit into a category? vocally,
Yes,
and,
well,
and so.
all you have to do is listen. You know, Nancy has got a very wide range. I don't. I can only go up to a certain note and that's it. There's nothing else there.
Does that affect the songs that you can sing?
Yes.
Okay.
It affects the arrangements that we can pick, and we know where to go to get the arrangements that we can use. Because years ago, we always used men's arrangements.
Because that's all there was, basically.
That's all, well, that's right, that's all there was. And the range was way too wide. So it was difficult. But now we have a lot of women arrangers. They arrange for women's voices.
That's interesting.
Much easier.
You were mentioning, Robyn, about the mixed choruses. Does that, like, I'm assuming that because generally, but not always probably, men's voices tend to be able to sing lower than women. So in those instances where there are mixed choruses, do the women generally not sing bass?
No, they don't.
I see.
I think what's amazing about this opportunity is that any person could sing wherever's right for them,
Yes.
right? So as Irene said, if you're singing in a women's only chorus or quartet, you are limited to the arrangements and the parts, you know, that offers, and same for the men. But if you have a chorus that welcomes everyone, then you sing where it's right for your voice, or as you've mentioned, or your personality, right? Because in selling that song, everyone has a slightly different role too.
Sure.
And so I think that's an amazing opportunity for anyone to sing what's best for them vocally, right? And still participate in this art form.
Yeah, that's a great concept. And if we ever needed uplifting everything, music, whatever, you know, to lift us up, we're going through so many things that were unplanned and unexpected. And I'm hoping, because I tend to be pretty much an optimist, I'm hoping that some very bold lessons will be learned for each one of us out of these challenges that we're going through individually and as a nation. And I hope that there'll be a lot of good that can come out of this whole process. And Lord, help us, please. And bring more music to our hearts and our communities and our children. You know, let the children sing. We're in our last minute now. I want to thank you all so much for coming and for doing what you do and for, you know, just lifting people up and giving them joy.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, well.
We've enjoyed it.
Well, you're welcome. It's just different from any show I've done before. And, you know, I try to have variety.
Sure.
And I'd love to have you back and record some of your singing or whatever. But I'm going to check into Shriners just to see if that's a possibility, okay?
Wonderful.
And if I meet,
That would be fun.
I want to go up there anyway and just get a picture of what that's all about. You see it on TV. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lynn.
Robyn, Nancy, and what's your name? Good night, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you again next week. And have a great 4th of July. God bless America. Good night.